Hi, welcome to this introductory video on how to fingerpick. In this lesson we're going to talk about the mechanics of the hand in fingerpicking, and we're going to apply it to the very famous theme of Malagueña. So let's get started. The first thing to know is that there are two different strokes in fingerpicking, and a stroke basically means how we can play a string. So there are two different strokes. The first one is a rest stroke, and the second one is a free stroke. In classical and flamenco playing, you may hear these called apoyando and tirando. Apoyando is a rest stroke, tirando is a free stroke. So let's talk about what these mean and how they are different. Let's start with a rest stroke. So I'm going to take my thumb on my right hand and I'm going to put it on the 6th string. So that's your thickest string, it's your low E string. And I'm going to have a 45-degree angle my finger from the string, so that way I get a combination of both flesh and nail, so I get the best tone. So I'm going to rest my finger on this string. Now a rest stroke means that after I pick a string, you can see that my thumb is now resting on the string below the string I just played. So I started with my E string, and now I'm on my A string. Now if I play my A string, my thumb is now resting on the D string. That is a rest stroke. And the thumb is going to do a rest stroke probably 95% of the time. And those are rest strokes. So try this with me. Take your thumb, put it on the E string, your low E string. Take your index, middle, and ring fingers on your hand, and just rest them on your first string, your high E string. And your pinky can just rest and relax. The fingers here are going to add support to your thumb. Now, let's try playing down all the strings, and I'm not holding anything in my left hand, I'm playing just open strings. So let's play E string, A string, D string, G string, B string, and E string again. Nice and relaxed. Just let gravity pull your thumb down, push in a little bit, and pull down. And that is a rest stroke. Now let's talk about a free stroke with the other fingers. Now, what I recommend to learn the mechanic of this is to take your hand and hold it up like this. And I want you to try clapping into your palm, like this. And I do this to warm up before I actually practice every day. Now the reason why we're doing this is so you understand that these knuckles here, the first knuckles, are going to control the movements of your index, middle, and ring fingers when you are finger picking. And this just helps you warm up those muscles. Now, let's talk about what a free stroke is. So we already know what a rest stroke is. To play a free stroke, I'm going to take my pointer finger and rest it on the high E string, the first string. And I'm going to roll that index finger towards my palm, like this. And you can see that when I am doing this, I am not touching another string. Unlike the rest stroke where after the stroke was done I ended up touching a string, in this case the finger is basically in the air. It's free, that's why it's called a free stroke. So nice and relaxed, just roll it towards your palm. So we have a rest stroke and a free stroke. Let's talk about combining these two types of strokes with a technique in flamenco we call ayudado. And ayudado means that we are going to alternate our thumb and index to play notes. It's like a cycle. It's going to repeat over and over again. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take our thumb, put it on the low E string, your 6th string, take your index finger on your picking hand, and we're going to put it on the 1st string, your high E string. And we're going to start by doing a rest stroke with the thumb. So I'm resting now on the A, and then my index finger is going to roll towards the palm to play a free stroke. So thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index. And that is Ayudado. That is the mechanics of how fingerpicking works. The best thing about this technique is that once you are ready to start adding your middle and ring finger, they work exactly the same. They both roll towards the palm, it's just that they might be playing a different string. But the mechanic is the same. So if you can master the Ayudado, you're well on your way to learning how to fingerpick. Let's do a close-up of the Ayudado technique. So I'm going to go thumb as a rest stroke, index as a free stroke. Thumb, index, thumb, index. Now let's try moving our thumb a little bit more. So our index is going to stay on the high E string, the first string. It's always going to pick this string. However, the thumb is going to move around and play the melody of whatever piece we're playing. So let's just take our thumb and we're just going to go down all the strings. So let's go E, A, D, G, and B. So you saw that my thumb moved strings while my index finger plays the first string each time. So thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index. So now let's talk about how to use this Ayudado technique in a melodic way. So in this case, we're using the theme from Malagueña. This is a very famous phrase, very recognizable both in flamenco guitar and classical guitar, and you have probably heard it at least once before. Now, I recommend when you are learning an Ayudado phrase to only focus on what the thumb is doing, especially because the index is constantly picking that high E string, that first string. We actually don't really need to pay attention to it as much because it's repetitive. However, the thumb is going to be playing the melodies of whatever piece you're playing. So that's the first step, is learning how the thumb works. And then once that is comfortable for you and you understand it, then you can throw in the index in between all the notes, and then you have your phrase. So let's take a closer look at what the left hand is doing for the Malagueña, and then we'll talk about adding the index back into the mix. So the first note that we are going to play for the Malagueña is just an open E string, just on its own. So you're going to play that as a rest stroke. So play your 6th string, open. That's note number 1. The next note that we're going to play is the 4th fret of the E string. And we're going to use a concept called finger assignment. And what that means is we're going to assign a number to each finger. So your index finger is going to be number 1, your middle is going to be number 2, your ring finger is number 3, and your pinky is number 4. So in this case, I said 4th fret on your E string. So that means you're going to use your pinky finger to play the 4th fret. If you're an absolute beginner and this is too hard for you, then you can use your ring finger. But I highly recommend trying the finger assignment, so that way your left hand doesn't move very much. It stays in this kind of block shape that we are making. So we have open E, and then 4th fret on E. And I'm using my pinky to play 4th fret. The next note is 2nd fret on the A string, and that is right here. And I'm using my middle finger. So we have open, low E, 4th fret on E, and then 2nd fret on A. So open, 4, 2, open, 4, 2. And the piece, that happens twice, so. Open, 4, 2, open, 4, 2. And these are all rest strokes. Now, next thing, we have open A on its own. Then we have 3rd fret with the ring finger, 2nd fret with the middle finger, and then open A again. So this little section we have open A, 3rd fret with the ring finger, 2nd fret with the middle finger, and open A. So far we have open, 4, 2, open, 4, 2, open, 3rd, 2nd, open. To close it, we go to the E string, 3rd fret, I'm going to play with my ring finger, 1st fret with the index, and then open E again. So 3rd, 1st, open. So the whole thing from the beginning, we have open, 4, 2, open, 4, 2, open, 3, 2, open, 3, 1, open. And that is the melody of Malagueña. Let's take a look at how to combine these two concepts. So we've learned the left-hand notes with the thumb, and before that we learned how to play the Ayudado technique. So now we have to combine the two. And the good thing about it is the hard work is done. We know the notes and we know the technique. All we have to do is play the melody note, and in between each note with the thumb, we are going to play a free stroke with our index finger. So for example, if we take the beginning, we have that open 6th string, and then we're going to play free stroke with the index. Next we have the 4th fret on the 6th string, play the index again. Then we have 2nd fret on A, and then index again. So we are alternating rest strokes and free strokes, thumb and index. So thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index. And this happens throughout the entire theme. It's like a cycle.